Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to tackle about animals and taxonomy.
What is taxonomy? Taxonomy is the practice of identifying different organisms, classifying them into categories, and naming them. All organisms, both living and extinct, are classified into distinct groups with other similar organisms and given a scientific name. The classification of organisms has various hierarchical categories. Categories gradually shift from being very broad and including many different organisms to very specific and identifying single species. With each step down in classification, organisms are split into more and more specific groups. For example, all of the animals in the kingdom Animalia are split into multiple phyla, or plural of phylum. All of the animals in the phylum Chordata are split into multiple classes such as mammals, reptiles, and amphibians. The broadest category splits all organisms into three groups called domains. The three domains of life are bacteria, archaea, and eukaryota. There are 8 distinct taxonomic categories. These are domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Kingdom. For a long time of life was separated into 5 or 6 kingdoms. These included kingdoms such as animals, plants, fungi, protists, archaea, and bacteria. Phylum. A phylum or plural phyla is still a very broad classification, but it splits kingdoms into multiple groups. Class is the next level down. As mentioned earlier, some classes from the phylum Chordata include mammals, reptiles, and amphibians. Arthropod classes include the likes of insects and arachnids, which is spiders, mites, and scorpions. Next is order and family. From class, organisms are placed into an order and then a family. Using grasses as an example from the plant kingdom, they belong to the order Poales and the family Poaceae. Last is genus and species. The final two categories are genus and species. The genus and species that an organism belongs to are how an organism receives its scientific name. This naming system is called binomial nomenclature and was invented by a brilliant biologist named Carl Linnaeus. Carl Linnaeus was a Swedish naturalist from the 18th century and is considered the father of taxonomy. It was Linnaeus who first began to separate organisms into hierarchical categories. He also developed the system that we use to name new species called binomial nomenclature. Linnaeus is credited with identifying over 10,000 different plant and animal species in his lifetime, more than any other biologist. When Linnaeus developed his system of hierarchical categories, he called it Systema Nature. It contained 3 kingdoms, classes, orders, genera, and species. We have since added 2 more categories, which is domains and phyla. Linnaeus' original classification had 3 kingdoms: animals, plants, and minerals, or natural non-living elements. We now only use this system for classifying organisms, and we have since separated all of life into more than 2 kingdoms. Binomial nomenclature is a method that we use to uniquely name every different organism on Earth, living or extinct. All organisms have a scientific name that includes 2 Latin words. The 2 words are made from the names of the genus the species belongs to and the second word to separate each of the species within the same genus. The second word is known as the specific epithet. Hence, the scientific names of all organisms are made from the name of their genus and a specific epithet. For example, The scientific name given to humans includes their genus, Homo, and the specific epithet sapiens. The overall name is Homo sapiens. The scientific names are also written in either italics or underlined. Taxonomy is not a perfect science, and as you will find out, there is a lot of disagreement and uncertainty about the structure of taxonomic classification. In general, however, taxonomy is a great way to quickly learn about how an organism slots into the tree of life. A world of animals. What is animals? Animals are the most advanced organism on the planet. The first animals are thought to have evolved over 550 million years ago, and they have since spread to all corners of the globe and diversified into millions of species. Animals can be distinguished from other living things by the combination of three features. First is they are unable to make their own food. Second, they have multiple cells and each cell has a nucleus and other specialized structures called organelles. Scientifically put, animals are heterotrophic multicellular organisms with eukaryotic cells. Animal species are often split into vertebrates and invertebrates, two very broad categories of animals. First is vertebrates. Species are animals that do have a backbone such as humans, birds, fish, and reptiles and make up the majority of large land animals. Second is invertebrate. Animals lack a backbone and often have a skeleton on the exterior of the body. The majority of animal species are classed as invertebrates, and many you will be familiar with such as insects, jellyfish, worms, and spiders. Mammals are a group of warm-blooded vertebrates and include the largest and smartest animals on the planet. They are distinguished from other animals by having hair or fur and mammary glands for milk production. Next is reptiles, are a group of animals that include snakes, lizards, crocodiles, turtles, and tawitara. They are an ancient group of cold-blooded, egg-laying vertebrates with scales or scutes rather than fur or feathers. Next is birds, are a class of animals known as aves and are easily distinguished by their feathers and wings. They have an incredible ability to fly and often perform amazing migrations over hundreds and even thousands of miles. Next is fish, are a group of aquatic animals with skulls, gills, and digitless limbs. Fish were the first vertebrate animals to evolve, and there is now more than 30,000 species living on Earth. The highest diversity of fish is found in tropical coral reefs. The last is invertebrate, is any animal without an internal backbone such as insects, shellfish, worms, and spiders. Invertebrates are incredibly diverse and make up roughly 95% of all animal species.